In the intricate dance of modern relationships where communication often dictates the rhythm of connection, the absence of reciprocation, such as a partner failing to initiate calls or texts, can evoke feelings of inadequacy, frustration, or self-doubt. Yet through the lens of Stoicism, these moments of relational imbalance are reframed not as personal failures, but as opportunities for self-mastery and ethical reflection. Rooted in ancient wisdom, Stoicism provides a timeless framework for navigating the complexities of human interaction with grace, purpose, and emotional resilience. By integrating Stoic principles into our approach to relationships, we can transform perceived slights into catalysts for growth, ensuring that our actions remain aligned with virtue rather than reactive emotions. At its core, Stoicism teaches the dichotomy of control, the principle that while external events and others' behaviors lie beyond our influence, we retain absolute authority over our thoughts, emotions, and responses. When applied to the context of one-sided communication, this teaching liberates individuals from the futile pursuit of controlling another's actions or seeking validation through external cues. For instance, if a partner consistently fails to initiate contact, a Stoic approach encourages focusing on what lies within one's power, cultivating inner peace, practicing gratitude for the relationship's positive aspects, and redirecting energy toward personal development. By shifting attention inward, individuals reclaim their agency and demonstrate a profound understanding of their intrinsic worth, independent of relational dynamics. Moreover, Stoicism frames relational challenges as natural occurrences within the human experience, reminding us that impermanence and misalignment are inherent aspects of life. Just as seasons change and circumstances evolve, relationships follow cycles of growth, stagnation, and potential transformation. Rather than resisting this inevitability, Stoics embrace it as an opportunity to practice acceptance and detachment. For example, the lack of reciprocation in communication may initially feel like a rejection, but through the Stoic practice of apatheia, freedom from destructive passions, one learns to detach from excessive attachment to external validation or the illusion of reciprocity. This detachment does not imply indifference, but rather a deeper understanding that true fulfillment arises from within, independent of how others choose to engage. The Stoic emphasis on virtue and purpose further underscores the transformative potential of addressing imbalances in relationships. Relational patterns, such as one-sided communication, often highlight areas where personal growth or boundary setting is needed. The dissolution, or recalibration, of such dynamics creates space to reassess one's goals, rediscover passions, and realign with one's authentic self. By viewing the lack of reciprocation as a chance to recalibrate and focus on what truly matters, individuals move beyond the immediate pain of neglect to cultivate virtues such as courage, patience, and self-discipline. These qualities not only enhance emotional resilience but also lay the foundation for future relationships built on mutual respect, reciprocity, and shared values. Ultimately, the Stoic path to addressing imbalances in relationships reframes these experiences as powerful teachers, offering invaluable lessons in humility, adaptability, and inner strength. By embracing the philosophy of acceptance, detachment, and purposeful action, individuals not only navigate the emotional turbulence of relational discord with grace and composure, but also unlock the potential for breakthroughs in personal and relational growth. Through this lens, the absence of reciprocation becomes not an end but a beginning, a transformative journey toward becoming the best version of oneself, empowering individuals to rise above external circumstances and embody the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, strategic silence, harnessing the power of absence. One of the most potent tools in the Stoic arsenal for addressing imbalances in communication is strategic silence, a deliberate and intentional withholding of engagement that serves both as a psychological lever and an ethical statement. Rooted in the principles of Stoicism, strategic silence transcends mere passive disengagement, transforming moments of quiet into opportunities for self-reflection, relational recalibration, and the cultivation of emotional resilience. When faced with a partner who consistently fails to initiate contact, Choosing to mirror their behavior by adopting a similar stance of non-initiation can create a dynamic shift in the relational balance, encouraging the other party to reconsider their approach and fostering an environment where mutual effort becomes essential. From a Stoic perspective, strategic silence operates as an exercise in self-mastery, aligning with the philosophy's emphasis on controlling what lies within one's power. While external behaviors, such as whether someone chooses to call or text, are indifferent, adiaphora, and beyond our influence, our own responses to these actions remain firmly within our domain. By deliberately refraining from initiating contact, individuals assert their autonomy and demonstrate a profound understanding that their worth is not contingent upon external validation or reciprocation. This act of restraint not only reinforces inner peace but also disrupts the cycle of dependency that often accompanies one-sided communication. For example, when a partner grows accustomed to unilateral efforts, they may inadvertently take the other person's availability for granted. Strategic silence interrupts this pattern, compelling them to confront the absence of reciprocity and prompting a re-evaluation of their priorities. Psychologically, strategic silence taps into fundamental human tendencies such as loss aversion and the fear of uncertainty. When a high-value individual chooses to pause during a relational dynamic, perhaps by reducing their availability or ceasing to initiate conversations, they introduce an element of unpredictability that disrupts the expected rhythm of interaction. This momentary void compels the other person to fill the silence, often revealing more about their intentions, emotions, or level of investment than they might have otherwise disclosed. For instance, a partner who rarely initiates contact may suddenly begin reaching out more frequently or expressing curiosity about the change in behavior. Dark psychology interprets this dynamic as a form of indirect influence, where the absence of verbal input creates space for the other person to act or react in ways that align with desired outcomes. However, the Stoic lens ensures that this influence remains ethical and respectful, preventing manipulation or exploitation. High-value individuals use silence not to control others, but to invite introspection and foster environments where trust and connection can thrive organically. Moreover, strategic silence often functions as a litmus test for relational chemistry, revealing underlying dynamics of trust and compatibility. From a Stoic standpoint, this signal serves as an implicit invitation for the other person to demonstrate reciprocity or emotional investment. For instance, when a high-value individual adopts a measured approach to communication, they create an opportunity for the listener to reciprocate with questions or interpretations, providing valuable insights into their level of engagement. A Stoic approach tempers this interpretation by emphasizing the importance of patience and discernment. Rather than rushing to capitalize on the moment, high-value individuals focus on observing consistency and emotional state, ensuring that any response remains aligned with mutual respect and shared goals. Cultural and individual differences also shape the expression and reception of strategic silence. In some contexts, silence is viewed as a natural extension of contemplation and respect, while in others it may be perceived as awkward or confrontational. Similarly, personal temperament and past experiences influence how individuals interpret and respond to moments of quiet. For instance, someone accustomed to fast-paced, high-energy interactions might find prolonged pauses uncomfortable, while another person might view them as essential for building trust. By combining the strategic insights of dark psychology with the reflective discipline of Stoicism, high-value individuals ensure that their use of silence honors both universal principles and individual preferences, enhancing their ability to connect authentically across diverse relational landscapes. Ultimately, strategic silence represents a powerful yet nuanced tool in the Stoic framework for addressing imbalances in communication, operating at the intersection of subconscious influence and deliberate action. By interpreting this technique through the dual lenses of Stoicism and psychological insight, individuals can wield silence with both strategic acumen and ethical integrity, fostering environments where trust and connection can thrive organically. This balanced approach not only enhances their ability to recognize and respond to relational dynamics, but also reinforces their commitment to building relationships grounded in mutual respect, authenticity, and shared values. Through strategic silence, individuals reclaim their agency, encourage reciprocity, and create opportunities for meaningful growth, embodying the timeless wisdom of Stoicism in their pursuit of harmonious and fulfilling connections. Emotional mastery. Cultivating inner resilience. Amidst relational imbalance, central to the Stoic philosophy is the concept of emotional mastery, which serves as a cornerstone for maintaining composure and self-respect in the face of relational challenges, such as one-sided communication. Emotional mastery does not imply suppression or denial of feelings, but rather the conscious cultivation of awareness, regulation, and alignment with higher principles. By practicing emotional mastery, individuals free themselves from the emotional turmoil triggered by a partner's lack of reciprocation, enabling them to navigate the situation with clarity, dignity, and purpose. This process of inner fortification is deeply intertwined with Stoic practices such as negative visualization, mindfulness, and cognitive reframing, each of which empowers individuals to transform reactive impulses into measured responses. Negative visualization, a quintessential Stoic exercise, involves deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare oneself for adversity and cultivate gratitude. When applied to the context of one-sided communication, this practice helps individuals confront the possibility of relational imbalance before it escalates into emotional distress. For instance, reflecting on the transient nature of all relationships fosters a mindset of acceptance and equanimity, softening the blow of perceived neglect. By mentally rehearsing the absence of reciprocation, individuals inoculate themselves against the shock of unmet expectations, reducing the emotional intensity of the experience. Negative visualization also encourages gratitude for the relationship's existing positives, shifting focus from what is lacking to what remains intact. This preemptive emotional conditioning not only mitigates the sting of relational imbalance, but also reinforces the Stoic principle that external events, such as a partner's failure to initiate contact, are indifferent, adiaphora, and unworthy of disrupting inner tranquility. Mindfulness, another pillar of Stoic philosophy, complements negative visualization by anchoring individuals in the present moment. When faced with the emotional fallout of one-sided communication, it is easy to spiral into rumination, replaying past interactions or obsessing over unanswered questions. Mindfulness interrupts this cycle by redirecting attention to the here and now, encouraging individuals to observe their thoughts and feelings without judgment or attachment. For example, instead of fixating on why the other person isn't reaching out or what could have been done differently, a Stoic approach involves acknowledging these thoughts as fleeting impressions, fantasiae, that do not define reality. Practicing non-reactivity and focusing on sensory experiences, such as the rhythm of breathing or the sensations of daily activities, individuals create a buffer between themselves and their emotions, preventing these feelings from overwhelming their sense of self. This deliberate cultivation of presence restores emotional balance and reinforces the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously with the flow of life, free from the burdens of past grievances or future anxieties. Cognitive reframing, the process of altering the narrative surrounding an event, further amplifies emotional mastery by transforming perceived adversity into an opportunity for growth. One-sided communication, when viewed through the lens of victimhood, can evoke feelings of inadequacy, rejection, or resentment. However, Stoicism encourages individuals to reinterpret these experiences as tests of character and chances to cultivate virtues such as patience, humility, and resilience. For instance, rather than framing a partner's lack of initiation as a personal slight, a Stoic approach involves viewing it as a reflection of their capacity for communication rather than one's own worth. This shift in perspective not only diminishes the emotional charge of the event, but also empowers individuals to respond with compassion and understanding rather than anger or bitterness. Cognitive reframing aligns with the Stoic virtue of wisdom, enabling individuals to extract meaning and purpose from even the most challenging relational dynamics. The interplay between these Stoic practices, negative visualization, mindfulness, and cognitive reframing, creates a robust framework for emotional regulation in the face of relational imbalance. Negative visualization prepares individuals for the inevitability of neglect. Mindfulness anchors them in the present moment, and cognitive reframing transforms adversity into an opportunity for growth. Together, these practices enable individuals to maintain composure and self-respect, demonstrating the profound impact of Stoicism on emotional resilience and relational integrity. By embracing these tools, individuals not only navigate the aftermath of one-sided communication with grace and purpose, but also emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with their authentic selves. Finally, emotional mastery fosters a deeper sense of self-respect, reinforcing the understanding that one's value is not contingent upon external validation or reciprocation. When individuals regulate their emotional responses and resist the urge to seek approval through excessive effort, they communicate their self-worth implicitly. This internalized respect not only enhances their relational dynamics, but also positions them as individuals who prioritize authenticity and mutual effort. Through emotional mastery, individuals rise above the turbulence of relational imbalance, embodying the timeless wisdom of Stoicism in their pursuit of harmonious and fulfilling connections. Building value. Elevating your presence through self-improvement. One of the most transformative strategies for addressing imbalances in communication lies in the deliberate cultivation of personal value, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic principles of self-mastery and virtue. By focusing on elevating your presence through self-improvement and aligning your actions with higher ideals, you not only enhance your intrinsic worth but also create a magnetic pull that naturally draws others toward you. This approach, far from being manipulative or performative, reflects the Stoic belief that true fulfillment arises from within, and that external recognition is a natural byproduct of living authentically and virtuously. When applied to the context of one-sided communication, building value becomes a powerful antidote to neglect, fostering an environment where reciprocity and mutual admiration can flourish organically. At its core, building value involves prioritizing personal growth and self-care, ensuring that your energy and attention are directed toward pursuits that resonate with your authentic self. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with nature, pursuing activities that bring genuine joy and fulfillment, while fostering virtues such as wisdom, courage, and temperance. For instance, dedicating time to hobbies, creative endeavors, or professional development not only enriches your life, but also enhances your confidence and self-assurance. When you invest in your passions and aspirations, you radiate a sense of purpose and vitality that others naturally gravitate toward. This transformation is not about seeking external validation, but about creating a life that feels meaningful and aligned with your higher values. As Marcus Aurelius aptly noted, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By cultivating positive and constructive thoughts, you elevate your presence and attract those who appreciate and admire your essence. Moreover, building value extends beyond personal achievements to encompass relational dynamics and interpersonal skills. Stoicism teaches the importance of justice and fairness, urging individuals to treat others with kindness, empathy, and respect. By embodying these virtues in your interactions, you not only enhance your reputation as someone who values authenticity, but also inspire others to reciprocate with similar regard. For example, when faced with a partner who fails to initiate contact, responding with grace and patience rather than frustration or resentment demonstrates emotional maturity and resilience. This measured approach not only preserves your dignity, but also subtly communicates your worth, encouraging the other person to reconsider their behavior. Additionally, practicing active listening, thoughtful communication, and genuine appreciation for others fosters deeper connections and reinforces the foundation of mutual respect. These relational skills, when cultivated intentionally, amplify your value and create an environment where reciprocity becomes a natural outcome. Another critical aspect of building value is the practice of self-discipline and consistency. Stoicism places great emphasis on the virtue of temperance, which involves moderation and self-control in all actions. In the context of relationships, This translates to maintaining boundaries and avoiding behaviors that undermine your self-respect. For instance, instead of overcompensating for a partner's lack of initiative by inundating them with messages or calls, practicing restraint demonstrates emotional regulation and self-assurance. This deliberate approach not only prevents burnout, but also signals to the other person that your presence is not to be taken for granted. Consistency in your actions, whether it's showing up fully in your commitments, maintaining a positive attitude, or pursuing your goals with determination, reinforces your reliability and dependability, qualities that others inherently admire and respect. Over time, these consistent efforts compound, creating a lasting impression of someone who is grounded, purposeful, and self-reliant. Building value also involves nurturing your physical and mental well-being, as these aspects directly influence your overall presence and energy. Stoicism encourages individuals to care for their bodies and minds as integral components of living virtuously. Engaging in regular exercise, maintaining a balanced diet, and prioritizing mental health through practices such as meditation or journaling not only enhance your physical vitality, but also sharpen your mental clarity and emotional resilience. When you feel strong and centered, your interactions become more confident and impactful, further amplifying your value in the eyes of others. Additionally, cultivating a positive mindset and practicing gratitude for life's blessings contribute to an aura of positivity and optimism, qualities that naturally attract others and foster deeper connections. Ultimately, building value through self-improvement and alignment with Stoic virtues transforms the dynamics of one-sided communication by shifting the focus from external reciprocation to internal empowerment. By investing in your growth, embodying relational virtues, practicing self-discipline, and nurturing your well-being, you create a presence that is both authentic and magnetic. This elevated presence not only enhances your self-respect, but also inspires others to recognize and appreciate your worth, fostering an environment where reciprocity becomes a natural and organic outcome. Through the lens of Stoicism, building value becomes not merely a strategy for attracting admiration, but a profound journey of self-discovery and fulfillment, empowering you to rise above relational imbalances and embody the timeless wisdom of living virtuously and authentically. Empathy and validation. Fostering mutual understanding, empathy and validation, when practiced with intentionality and rooted in Stoic principles, serve as powerful tools for fostering mutual understanding and recalibrating relational dynamics. These techniques, though seemingly simple, hold the potential to transform one-sided communication into a balanced exchange by creating an environment of trust, respect, and emotional safety. By approaching interactions with genuine curiosity and a commitment to understanding the other person's perspective, individuals not only deepen their connection, but also encourage reciprocity and mutual effort. Through the lens of Stoicism, empathy and validation become exercises in virtue, aligning with the philosophy's emphasis on justice, temperance, and interconnectedness, while reinforcing the importance of ethical conduct in relationships. At its core, empathy involves the ability to step into another person's emotional landscape, recognizing and understanding their feelings without judgment or imposition. For Stoics, this practice transcends mere sympathy, requiring a deliberate effort to see the world through the other person's eyes, while maintaining emotional equilibrium. When applied to the context of one-sided communication, empathy enables individuals to approach the situation with a sense of curiosity rather than defensiveness, asking questions such as, what might be influencing their behavior? Or, how can I better understand their perspective? This mindset not only diffuses tension, but also opens the door to meaningful dialogue. For example, instead of interpreting a partner's lack of initiation as neglect or indifference, an empathetic approach invites reflection on potential external factors, such as stress, personal struggles, or differing communication styles that may be contributing to the imbalance. By acknowledging these possibilities, individuals demonstrate emotional intelligence and a willingness to engage constructively, fostering an atmosphere of mutual respect. Validation, closely intertwined with empathy, serves as a powerful tool for affirming the legitimacy of another's emotions and experiences. From a Stoic standpoint, validation is not about agreement or placation, but about recognizing the humanity in others and honoring their right to feel and express their emotions. When a partner expresses frustration, confusion, or hesitation, responding with statements such as, "I hear you and it makes sense that you feel this way," conveys understanding and respect without amplifying negativity. This acknowledgement not only de-escalates potential conflict, but also positions the individual as someone who values collaboration over domination. For instance, during a discussion about relational expectations, a Stoic approach involves validating the other person's concerns while articulating one's own needs and boundaries. This balanced exchange not only strengthens emotional bonds, but also reinforces the foundation of mutual trust and respect. Moreover, empathy and validation often function as catalysts for relational recalibration, encouraging the other person to reciprocate with similar regard. From a Stoic perspective, this dynamic reflects the interconnectedness of humanity, reminding individuals that their actions ripple outward, influencing the broader relational ecosystem. When someone feels seen, heard, and understood, they are more likely to respond with openness and vulnerability, creating a feedback loop of mutual engagement. For example, a partner who receives empathy and validation may begin to mirror these behaviors, initiating more frequent contact or expressing greater emotional investment. This reciprocal exchange not only restores balance to the relationship, but also fosters an environment where both parties feel valued and respected. Cultural and individual differences also shape the expression and reception of empathy and validation. In some contexts, direct expressions of understanding and affirmation are viewed as essential for building trust, while in others, they may be perceived as intrusive or insincere. Similarly, personal temperament and past experiences influence how individuals interpret and respond to acts of empathy and validation. For instance, someone with a reserved personality might find overt validation reassuring, while another person might view it as patronizing or unnecessary. High-value individuals attuned to these nuances adapt their approach to align with the cultural and emotional context of the interaction. By combining the strategic insights of empathy with the reflective discipline of Stoicism, they ensure that their efforts remain both impactful and appropriate, enhancing their ability to connect authentically across diverse relational landscapes. Ultimately, empathy and validation represent critical dimensions of the Stoic approach to addressing imbalances in communication, operating as bridges between emotional intelligence and ethical integrity. By practicing these techniques with intentionality and restraint, individuals not only amplify the impact of their interactions, but also reinforce their reputation as empathetic, composed, and authoritative figures. This deliberate and nuanced approach to relational dynamics enables them to navigate interpersonal challenges with precision and purpose, fostering connections that honor mutual respect, authenticity, and shared values. Through empathy and validation, individuals create opportunities for meaningful growth, embodying the timeless wisdom of Stoicism in their pursuit of harmonious and fulfilling connections. Real-life transformations, turning neglect into reciprocity. The transformative power of Stoicism in addressing one-sided communication is vividly illustrated through real-life examples of individuals who have embraced its principles to achieve remarkable breakthroughs. These stories not only underscore the practical applicability of Stoic teachings, but also highlight the diverse ways in which adversity can be harnessed as a force for positive change. By examining these case studies, we gain insight into how Stoicism can guide individuals through the emotional turbulence of relational imbalance, empowering them to reclaim their agency, foster reciprocity, and build connections grounded in mutual respect and authenticity. Consider the story of Alex, a 28-year-old software engineer whose relationship with his partner had grown increasingly one-sided over the course of 2 years. Despite his consistent efforts to initiate contact and plan meaningful interactions, Alex found himself repeatedly met with lukewarm responses or outright silence. Initially, he interpreted this neglect as a reflection of his own inadequacy, leading to feelings of frustration and self-doubt. It was during this period of emotional turmoil that Alex discovered Stoicism, which offered him a lifeline in the form of structured practices such as strategic silence, emotional mastery, and value building. By deliberately mirroring his partner's lack of initiation, Alex introduced an element of unpredictability that disrupted the established dynamic. This act of restraint not only restored his sense of autonomy, but also prompted his partner to reflect on the imbalance in their communication. Over time, Alex's measured approach, combined with his focus on personal growth and self-care, inspired a shift in his partner's behavior, leading to more frequent and meaningful interactions. Today, Alex credits Stoicism with helping him not only regain his confidence but also transform the relationship into one characterized by mutual effort and respect. Another compelling example is that of Sarah, a 34-year-old marketing consultant who struggled with a long-distance relationship marked by her partner's inconsistent communication. Despite her repeated attempts to bridge the distance through calls, texts, and thoughtful gestures, Sarah often felt neglected and undervalued. Drawing on Stoic teachings, she embarked on a journey of self-discovery, prioritizing activities that brought her joy and fulfillment while practicing emotional regulation and empathy. Instead of reacting impulsively to her partner's sporadic engagement, Sarah adopted a Stoic mindset, viewing the situation as an opportunity to cultivate patience and resilience. She also focused on building her own value, dedicating time to professional development, fitness, and creative pursuits. This transformation not only enhanced her self-assurance, but also subtly communicated her worth to her partner, who began to recognize and appreciate her efforts. Reflecting on her journey, Sarah notes, "Stoicism taught me that I couldn't control his actions, but I could control how I responded. By focusing on myself and maintaining my dignity, I created space for him to step up, and he did." Similarly, Marcus's experience illustrates how Stoicism can help individuals navigate the complexities of relational imbalance with grace and purpose. After years of enduring a friendship where he consistently initiated contact without reciprocation, Marcus turned to Stoicism as a means of regaining control over his emotional landscape. Through the practice of mindfulness, he learned to observe his thoughts and feelings without judgment, preventing them from spiraling into resentment or despair. He also embraced the Stoic principle of justice, redirecting his focus from personal neglect to serving others. Marcus began volunteering at a local community center, where he mentored teenagers grappling with social isolation and relational challenges. This act of giving back not only provided him with a renewed sense of purpose, but also deepened his understanding of the interconnectedness of humanity, a core tenet of Stoicism. Over time, Marcus's friend noticed the positive changes in his demeanor and began reaching out more frequently, inspired by his newfound confidence and resilience. Reflecting on his journey, Marcus notes, "The neglect forced me to confront my vulnerabilities, but Stoicism gave me the tools to turn those vulnerabilities into strengths. Now I feel more connected to myself and the people around me." These stories collectively demonstrate the versatility and efficacy of Stoicism in navigating the complexities of one-sided communication. Whether through strategic silence, emotional mastery, value building, or the pursuit of empathy and justice, individuals like Alex, Sarah, and Marcus have harnessed Stoic principles to transform neglect into reciprocity. Their journeys reveal that the pain of relational imbalance, while undeniably challenging, can serve as a powerful impetus for growth, self-discovery, and meaningful contribution. By embracing Stoicism, these individuals not only reclaimed their agency, but also emerged stronger, wiser, and more aligned with their highest ideals. Rising above one-sided dynamics, embracing Stoic wisdom as we reflect on the transformative journey illuminated by Stoic philosophy, it becomes clear that one-sided communication, far from being an insurmountable obstacle, is a profound opportunity for personal evolution and relational recalibration. Through the disciplined application of Stoic principles, strategic silence, emotional mastery, value building, and empathy, individuals can navigate the emotional turbulence of neglect with grace and purpose. These practices not only alleviate the immediate pain of imbalance, but also unlock the potential for lasting breakthroughs, enabling individuals to emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with their authentic selves. The Stoic approach to one-sided communication reframes these experiences as natural and inevitable occurrences, inviting individuals to view them not as failures, but as catalysts for growth. By releasing excessive attachments to external validation, embracing reality as it is, and cultivating mindfulness, individuals free themselves from the emotional chains of dependency, reclaiming their autonomy and inner strength. This process of liberation paves the way for rediscovering passion, pursuing meaningful contributions, and aligning with virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice. Ultimately, Stoicism transforms the pain of relational imbalance into a journey of empowerment, reminding us that true fulfillment arises from within and is independent of how others choose to engage. To those navigating the aftermath of one-sided communication, the timeless wisdom of Stoicism offers a roadmap for turning adversity into advantage. By embracing practices such as strategic silence, emotional mastery, and value building, individuals can build resilience, realign with their higher purpose, and rediscover the beauty of living authentically. The journey may be challenging, but it is also profoundly rewarding, leading to a deeper understanding of oneself and one's place in the world. Through Stoicism, losing someone becomes not a source of despair, but a gateway to liberation, a chance to shed the weight of the past and step boldly into a future filled with possibility and promise.